What's your number?
Sorry?
The amount of money you would need to just walk away from it and live. See, I find that everybody has a number, and it's usually an exact number. So what is yours?
More.
When I wrote my book, How to Be Rich, the publishers wanted to change the title. They wanted to call it How to Get Rich. Well, I told them, getting rich is easy. I mean, any fool can get rich. And any number of fools do. But being rich, that's something else.
It's just money. It's made up. Pieces of paper with pictures on it so we don't have to kill each other just to get something to eat.
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
You know what? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! So tell me, Gordon, when does it all end, huh? How many yachts can you water ski behind? How much is enough?
It's not a question of enough, pal. It's a zero-sum game. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Money itself isn't lost or made. It's simply transferred from one perception to another, like magic.
Know what you want and believe that you can and will get it.
The first million is hard, but the second million is inevitable.
That's paper. We call it money. Money is an idea. Money goes where it's invited and it stays where it's welcome.
If I were to do this, if I even could do it, I'd need a guarantee. How do I know you can deliver?
You don't. But I can. So, do you want to take a leap of faith? Or become an old man, filled with regret, waiting to die alone?
Money does not exist. Did you know that? Because money is an idea. It's in your head. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich. Do you know what your book says? Work and grow rich. The book says think and grow rich.
Rich people's mindset, the millionaire mindset, the real most important millionaire mindset is this. You think and you know and you have complete confidence in your own ability to create. You know that you have the ability to create money. You have confidence that you have the ability to create money anytime you need.
Remember, the starting point of becoming a millionaire on the outside is for you to become a millionaire on the inside. Whenever you think about your work, repeat the words over and over again. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. Combine these positive words with a mental image of yourself performing your task, your work, in an excellent way. Remember, there are no successful mediocrities. Everyone who is financially successful is recognized as being very good at what they do. So imagine yourself as relaxed and calm and confident and capable. What you see on the inside is what you will be on the outside.
Our only limitations are those we set up in our own minds.
The attitude is it can't be done because they haven't seen it. They're judging according to appearances. The people that are going to make it in the future, the people that are making it today, let me share something with you. History is being read, but it's also being written by people with imagination.
The strongest individuals are not those who never experienced negative thoughts, but those who refuse to be controlled by them.
Most people go through life quietly and safely, tiptoeing to an early grave. Find out what it is you want and go after it as if your life depends on it. Why? Because it does.
Success is something which has to be planned, and success is something which has to be earned in advance. True, there is such a thing as luck, but just remember that luck is something you can create for yourself if you know the rules and follow them just as I give them to you.
Faith is believing in things when common sense tells you not to.
One of the things that I learned, by the way, is that becoming a self-made millionaire is not the important thing. What is really important is the person you have to become a self-made millionaire. You have to become a totally different human being. One of my friends says that in order to achieve something you've never achieved before, you have to become someone you've never been before. And it's a really important insight, is the qualities that you need to develop, qualities on the inside to become a self-made millionaire, are incredible qualities that make you a vastly better person.
Poor people usually spend their money and invest what's left. That's the philosophy of the poor. Now here's the philosophy of the rich. Rich people invest their money and spend what's left. And here's the startling answer. It really doesn't matter what the amount is. What's most important is not the amount. What's really important is the philosophy. So I would ask you to adopt this philosophy of spending after you have invested. Invest first, then spend.
The illusion has become real, and the more real it becomes, the more desperate they want it.
$1 million isn't cool. You know what's cool?
$1 billion.
Think and grow rich. Think and grow rich. I said, yes, sir.
When a man becomes wealthy, he has to deal with the problems of freedom. All the choices he could possibly want. An abyss opens up.
Because you know that success is not reserved for the few, it's claimed by those who decide they deserve it.
As you think, so you become.
Our mind can do almost anything. Our mind continuously create and perceive our world simultaneously, and our mind does this so well that we don't even know it's happening.
Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Set your mind on a definite goal and observe how quickly the world stands aside to let you pass.
A negative mental attitude can bring you nothing but failure. Remember always, you are where you are and what you are because of your mental attitude in which you relate yourself to other people. Remember also, your mental attitude is the one and the only thing over which you have complete control.
How to go from average to fortune. There's 5 simple steps. You might like to make a note of them. Here's the first one. Get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. I know a guy that's got 6 jokes keeping him from becoming wealthy. He's not known as rich. He's known as a joker, which I guess is okay if that's the kind of life you want to live. But it really isn't the best way to live. To go from average to... You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. I know a guy that's got 6 jokes keeping him from becoming wealthy. He's not known as rich. He's known as a joker, which I guess is okay if that's the kind of life you want to live. But it really isn't the best way to live. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. And you must get serious about 2 very important things. Number 1 is setting your goals and where you want to go. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. Then you have to get serious about another important subject. And that important subject is called personal development. Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who?
They say no. Never say you can't do it. Say, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. And that's true with everything. It's like there's nothing that you can't do. You may not have done it yet. We don't know if you can do it or not until you really practice, and then you find out if you can do it or not, or how well you can do it.
Yeah. He said, poor thinking habits keeps most people poor. Not poor working habits. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. And Schoff taught me that the mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. And that's what builds the economic, social, financial fabric of your life.
That clip we played there, what was it, about 2013, you said, by the time
I'm 25 years old, I'm going to be a self-made millionaire, and he laughed at me. And, there's no one laughing at me now, I tell you that. That showed me that the mind is a powerful thing. Say what you want. I come from We come from nothing. You know what I mean? Like, I come from nothing.
Have you got it yet? No? Yeah, I have mine, yeah. So I want to get it yet, don't you? You're number 1 on the 4 list. That was like number 25. So I'll get them. Maybe next year I'll get you. I can get used to being a billionaire, yeah?
Can you manifest millions? Yes.
Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Not a hope, not a wish, but a keen, pulsating desire which transcends everything.
All successful people are those who consciously are aware that the self-doubt that holds most people back is something that they are heir to as well. And they're alert and sensitive to it. When a person says, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? They have a tendency to say, well, I can't because of this and I can't. Wait a minute. Yeah, most of us believe, I can't, I don't have it, I can't do it. Our natural tendency is to sell ourselves short. Natural tendency is to think of the reasons why we can't before we think of the reasons why we can. So the key to breaking ourselves out of the comfort zone and breaking ourselves loose of the shackle of helplessness is courage and confidence. We neutralize the antidote to fear and ignorance is desire and knowledge. And the more we learn about what we want to do and be and have, the more we believe that we can do it. The more we believe that we can do it, the more willing we are to try. And the more willing we are to try, the more likely it is we will succeed.
Remember, too, that success in the higher brackets of achievement is something that can be had only by taking others along with you. And the best definition of success, which I know, is this. Success is the knowledge with which to get whatever you want from life without violating the rights of others and by helping others to acquire it. There is a known formula for the attainment of success, and it is as definite and certain as are the rules of mathematics or the principles of science. My purpose in these visits is to bring you that formula in simple terms that you can understand and apply. But I can never give you that for which you are not ready.
You are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment.
Now, the biggest enemy of success, I would say there's probably 3 enemies of success.
Yeah.
The first big enemy is the comfort zone. But the comfort zone is where people become comfortable doing what they're doing, and they don't like to change. 80% of the population finds reasons not to change, even if the change can be positive or beneficial. The second thing that holds people back is what is called learned helplessness. This is where people feel, I can't do it. And the third enemy is what we call the path of least resistance, which is always looking for an easy way to achieve a result. But nothing worthwhile can be achieved easily. Everything worthwhile requires a long period of hard work, with many failures along the way.
Greed is right. Greed works. Greed clarifies, cuts through, and captures the essence of the evolutionary spirit. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole, and you've spent your whole life trying to widen that keyhole, to see more, to know more, and now, on hearing that it can be widened in ways you can't imagine, you reject the possibility.
Something to hold you over. There's an important phrase we use here. I think it's time you all learned it. Act as if. Do you understand what that means? Act as if you are the president of this firm.
People say you can't do that. You can do anything. We are God's highest form of creation. There is nothing on the planet that will equal us.
We become what we think about most of the time. And that's the strangest secret. This is why thinking is so vital. This is why a goal is so important. Because we will become that. This is why people who set goals achieve them. The trouble with men is not achieving their goals. They do that. It's in establishing them.
There's the one thing I learned in jail is that money is not the prime asset in life. Time is.
The main thing is to have the money. I've been rich and I've been poor. Believe me, rich is better.
There is no question as to whether or not you'll become a millionaire working here. The only question is how many times over. It's a weird thing to hear, right? I'll tell you. It's a weird thing to say. I am a millionaire. Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil doesn't fucking have any. They say money can't buy happiness. Look at the fucking smile on my face.
See those little black boxes? They're called telephones. I'm gonna let you on a little secret about these telephones. They're not gonna dial themselves, okay? Without you, they're just worthless hunks of plastic. It's up to each and every one of you, my highly trained Stratonites. My killers who will not take no for an answer. My fucking warriors who will not hang up the phone until their client either buys or dies!
I want to tell you something now, okay? I'm going to say it only once. If you want something more from me than a gesundheit after a sneeze, you're going to have to do more than come to me with it. You understand? You're going to have to earn it. And once you earn it, you're going to have to fight me for it. You're going to have to challenge me. You're going to have to rip it out of my talons.
So, now you know what's possible. Let me tell you what's required. You are required to work your ass off. Now go home and think about it. Think about whether or not this is really for you. If you decide it isn't, listen, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's not for everyone.
You could actually be a poor kid from nothing. And because of God's grace and mercy, He could put you in places you never ever thought you'd be.
All this, it's not me. It's inside. I am more.
The starting point of all achievement is desire. Keep this constantly in mind. Weak desires bring weak results, just as a small fire makes a small amount of heat.
Anyone can wear the mask. You could wear the mask. If you didn't know that before, I hope you do now.
The world's a playground. You know that when you're a kid, but somewhere along the way everyone forgets it.
You become what you think about most, but you also attract what you think about most.
Money. It's great stuff. If you follow my suggestion for the next year, you'll be a different person, living a rich, rewarding, and meaningful life. 1, remember that our rewards in life will be an exact proportion to our service. 2, by giving your work a larger percentage of your capabilities and talents, you must increase your income substantially.
Say you want a car. Okay, you write down the car. Go to the car dealership. Look at that car. Touch that car. Because when you physically touch something in the physical universe, things change.
Life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. What we think about ourselves becomes the truth for us. I believe that everyone, myself included, is responsible for everything in our lives. We can understand that every single thing we believe has been a choice. And it may or may not be true. It can be true for you and not for you. Because it's your belief system and your belief system, and then I have my belief system. I say a lot. That may be true for you, it's not true for me. I may not say that out loud, but people are doing things or saying things, and I think that to myself a lot. And also, it has nothing to do with me. Whatever's going, that has nothing to do with me, because I'm under the law of my own consciousness. This is my pathway, and you have your pathway, you have yours, everybody does.
And that's where delusion comes in, because delusion is only delusional when you don't accomplish the goal of making your delusions a reality, to allow those delusions to be the reality of your excessness.
Bruce, deep down you may still be that same great kid you used to be, but it's not who you are underneath. It's what you do that defines you.
How tall will a tree grow? As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. A tree drives its roots as deep as it can, reaches as high as it can, produces every leaf it can, every fruit it possibly can. to the max. Every life form strives to the max, except human beings. Now, why not human beings? Jot this down. You've been given the dignity of choice. You're not a robot. You don't have to repeat this year the same as last year. You can tear up last year's plan, develop a new plan.
Now is the best time to start.
Not tomorrow.
Not next week.
Not until next month.
Not next year.
You have to start.
Right now.
Get out there and chase your dreams. Take risks.
Because trust me,
It'll be worth it, I promise.
Applied faith is the mental attitude wherein you may clear your mind of all fears and doubts and direct it to the attainment of whatever you desire in life.
What you consistently speak with emotion, you summon. Speak wisely.
Everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. He said, match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not a philosophy. This is physics. Match the frequency of the reality you want. Now, what does science theology teach us? Nothing's created or destroyed. Write this down right now. I am so happy and grateful now that I have multiple sources of income. I had an affirmation that I used for years, still use it. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. If you write that out every day for the next 30, 60 days, you're going to become very, very aware of having multiple sources of income. And if you keep doing that, ultimately you're going to attract the money.
One of the things that I like to teach people when there's a problem, and we all have problems. Not all of us can deal with the world and war, but we can deal with our own problems. When a problem comes up, one of the best things to say is, all is well, everything is working out for my highest good, and out of this situation, this so-called problem, only good will come, and I am safe. And you know, this is something that's very powerful. All is well, everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this experience, only good will come, and I am safe. And what that does, it quiets your mind down, or my mind down, long enough for the universe to find a solution for the so-called problem.
Thomas A. Edison believed that he could perfect an incandescent electric lamp, and despite the fact that he failed over 10,000 times before he was crowned with success, he made his belief uncover the secret for which he was searching. Give one guess as to how many times the average person must fail before he quits. Fails because of the lack of capacity for belief. How many times can you meet with defeat before you give up the ghost and quit? Now let me give you a description of the one thing which represents the main difference between a successful person and a failure. Please listen carefully and think for yourself as I speak, because failure to recognize the truth I am about to give you is the starting point of most failures. Successful people in all occupations, all professions, and all callings have one trait which distinguishes them from the failures. It is their capacity for belief.
If you believe that you're good at what you do, and you strive to be good at what you do, you don't need to worry about what other people think. You need to be able to understand that you have your own confidence that you can do whatever it is you're required to do, and other people will see that confidence in you. The minute you start doubting yourself, other people will see that you're doubting yourself, and that becomes a weakness in your personality.
Use our imagination and build a picture of the good we want. And then we hold that picture with our will. The will is what gives us the idea to focus, to concentrate. In other words, you've got to see it and hold the picture in your mind. You will attract everything you need. That's just the way it works.
You simply select what you want to imagine. Would you like to be, and you name it. Well, you say, but I don't have the background for it. I do not have any of the qualifications for it. It doesn't really matter. If imagining creates reality, you do not need the qualifications that the world thinks you need. All you need do is simply to boldly assume that you are the man, the woman that you would like to be. Well, I have seen it numberless times in my 34 years of teaching, and I'm yet to see it fail if we, the operant power, applies it.
Who you are is always tested by two things. Write them down. Matter of fact, three things. Three things will test your character every time. And if you study, and in my book on character, I did a complete assessment of this with the greatest leader that ever lived, Jesus Christ. The three things that will always test your character, he passed the test. First one is appetites, which includes food, drink, and sex. The second test that will manifest your character is the test for fame. And the third one is the test for power. They say if you want to know who a man or woman really is, give them power and money. See what they do with it.
One of the fastest ways to create something in your physical reality is to reverse the normal process by which we create things. Usually we create things first by thinking about it. I think I'll go to that party. And then we say something about it, as in, Matilda, I'm coming to your party tonight. And then we do something about it, as in showing up at the party. That's generally how we produce things in our reality. In fact, everything in this room was once a thought. There is nothing that was not once a thought in someone's mind somewhere. But if you want to really play tricks with the universe and create magic with the stuff of life itself, reverse the thought, word, deed paradigm. Turn it upside down and start with the deed. That is to say, act as if. If you want to experience abundance, be abundant and do as abundance does. If you have only $5 left to your name, go to a store and get them made into singles. And take 5 singles and walk down the street and give a single to each of 5 people who have even less than you do. And by the way, you will find those people very easily.
Listen. This is to anybody who's watching this. Subscribe to Inspired by Florian.